Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much for tuning in. Wow, to my super chat, thank you so much, Dr. Evil 814. Randy Quaid's statement to Adam Schiff. You wrote the super chat, and I went to Randy Quaid's profile page, and it is awesome. It is awesome. I urge everyone, you know what? I will be doing a segment on that. I'll be doing a segment on that later this evening on H.A. Goodman's other channel. Dr. Evil 814, thank you very, very much. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, first and foremost, Adam Schiff, the House Intelligence Committee, Democrats, have contacted a person within the intelligence community, and what they were able to do is contact this person who, by the way, did not have firsthand knowledge. Okay, if you do not have firsthand knowledge about something, you probably shouldn't be talking about it. You probably shouldn't be complaining about it if you don't have firsthand knowledge. But this person apparently was contacted by Democrats, including the great and wonderful Adam Schiff. Check out my upload prior to this segment. How is this possible? You have the president, the last two presidents, Zelensky and Poroshenko of the Ukraine, who have stated categorically they were not pressured or influenced by President Trump to investigate anyone. Zelensky did not know that there would be any issue or a delay in assistance until a month after the call. So where is the leverage here? Where's the leverage? Furthermore, the notion that President Trump would interfere in the election by trying to investigate the wrongdoing of Democrats is laughable, because that's what they did with Trump, and they purchased their own bureaucratic nightmare. Ladies and gentlemen, they purchased Sure to Angler Bebo. Thank you so much for watching from Germany. Thank you. Thank you for watching. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone. And to my international audience in Germany and everywhere, thank you. Thank you so much for watching. So, Jeff, thank you. So, the notion that a person who complained about Trump's phone conversation would be contacted by Democrats prior to filing a complaint would make one believe, I don't know, that possibly, perhaps, Adam Schiff or Democrats had something to do, something to do, perhaps, with this person and how they wrote the complaint, and who they went to write the complaint. This was a phone conversation. President Trump cannot even speak on the phone. He can't speak on the phone. He can't win. If you win, it's a problem. And look, this is an article by Kenneth Vogel and David Stern. Ukrainian efforts to sabotage Trump backfire. Kiev officials are scrambling to make amends with the president-elect after quietly working to boost Clinton. This is January of 2017, January 11th, 2017. Donald Trump wasn't the only presidential... Ukrainian government officials tried to help Hillary Clinton and undermine Trump by publicly questioning his fitness for office. They also disseminated documents implicating a top Trump aide in corruption and suggested they were investigating the matter, only to back away after the election. And they helped Clinton allies research damaging information on Trump and his advisors. A Politico investigation found a Ukrainian-American operative who was consulting for the Democratic National Committee met with top officials in the Ukrainian embassy in Washington in an effort to expose ties between Trump, top campaign aide Paul Manafort, and Russia. So, Democrats are guilty yet again, as always, yet again. It's just unbelievable. Hello, Anita from Kentucky. Hello. It's just unbelievable how... Ken, hello. It's unbelievable how they always accuse Trump of what they're guilty of doing, but the problem here is, ladies and gentlemen, the problem here is that they happen to contact this, well, they call this person a person who's blowing the whistle, but that's not the case. That's not the case. You have a situation, ladies and gentlemen, where they tried desperately. I mean, absolutely desperately. They tried desperately to foment a myth that said that Trump worked with Russia to hack the DNC to inform the country that Bernie was cheated. And God bless Bernie Sanders. I wish him the best and a speedy recovery. I've disagreed with him, the past couple of years because I would have liked a person like Bernie to just say, hey, yeah, Debbie Wasserman cheated me. But you know what? First and foremost, I want his health to be, I want him to be healthy and happy, and I wish him the best, only the best. But you have this hilarious now controversy over nonsense. It's complete and utter nonsense. Adam Schiff first stated that he did not meet with this operative that came out with the complaint. Okay, don't ever call this person a whistleblower. He or she is not. You're talking about an operative, a Democratic operative, an intelligence community operative, whatever. This is a person who did not have firsthand knowledge. This is a person who is giving information that has absolutely nothing to do with the United States of America. There was no leverage, twisting of the arm. There was no statement saying, if you don't do this, you will not get this. Whereas it's kind of hilarious. If you were to ask people, well, why did cash flow into the Clinton Foundation amid the Russian uranium deal? Was there any conflict of interest there? Was there any reason why a continual flow of money from all different people and countries and corporations and sources go into a foundation and just miraculously they receive beneficial treatment? Isn't that interesting how that happens? Isn't that interesting? The Bosch tube, thank you. Isn't that interesting how that happens? And so you're now faced with a situation where yet again media has to say, well, it's not that big of a deal. It's above board. It's normal. And it's not a problem. And, it's okay. And then before this, of course, we all remember, well, I have a mountain of evidence. I have direct evidence. I have direct and indirect evidence. It's between direct and indirect. It's somewhere in the vantage point of direct, indirect, who knows. He never had any evidence. He never had any evidence. Then he goes on to say, he basically fabricates quotes. He fabricates quotes and said that Trump said these quotes during the conversation with Zelensky, and then he said, well, no, that's not true. It was parody. It was just parody. Okay, like, you're talking about they're trying too hard now. Haha, Ken Lee, ludicrous speed. You're talking about they have to fabricate, whether it's a Steele dossier or an operative that doesn't even have firsthand knowledge. They have to they can fabricate any story because the media will run with any story. You can count on your hand how many Trump supporters there are at the New York Times. Big toe. You can count on your hand how many Trump supporters there are at the New York Times, the Washington Post, MSNBC, CNN. I would venture to say maybe 3 or 4. Maybe more. Maybe there's a lot more, and nope, they just obviously can't state their viewpoint without potentially losing a job. But, quote, nobody pushed me. Ukrainian president denies Trump pressured him to investigate Biden's son. Former Ukrainian President Poroshenko says he felt no pressure from Trump. So what's the problem here? What's the problem? What is the issue? What's the issue? The issue is that he can't have a conversation. The issue is that even a conversation is a problem. Even a conversation. Exactly. I love all of these psychiatrists. They're like, oh my. And then the hilarious thing is the Golden Muumuu had the audacity to psychoanalyze Trump, which is hilarious. That's like Jeffrey Dahmer giving cooking advice. So, at this point right now, I think that there's not much that can be done. Now it's probably going to lead to, well, Biden is pretty much done from this, okay? The former vice president does not have the presidential campaign was already, when he turned into a reptile on national TV, and then it was a big problem. He fought cornflakes and grape nuts and Captain Crunch. Everyone laughed. And so, that, you're not talking about somebody. So, and if there's no Biden, and, I don't know, Elizabeth Warren, nobody has yet spoken about the fact that she failed her DNA test. Isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting? How do you fail a DNA test? Warren found a way. Where there's a will, there's a way. This had to be one of the worst moves in the history of politics. In the history of politics. Do you understand? The history of politics. That had to be the worst move ever. Where if she had not taken that DNA test, she probably could have tried to get away with it. Well, actually, no. I mean, everyone was laughing anyway. So she took the DNA test, and then where do you go from there? You're 1/1032nd? 30 seconds? I mean, where do you... how do you rebound from that? Oh my God. How do you rebound from that? How do you then say, in this day and age on the left, in liberal politics, how do you possibly rebound from that? You don't. Clinton can get away with anything. She could take a DNA test and they could say, well, you came from Jupiter. She said the most offensive, horrendous, whatever. Look, she's done the most. There's never a foreign policy decision that worked out. Constant, actual criminal activity. But it's okay. But you can't. If you're Biden, you can't do that. That doesn't fly. Do you understand? If you're Biden or Warren, those types of problems don't fly. You cannot, and you will not, be able to circumvent those types of issues. If you're the golden muumuu, nothing is impossible. So yeah, Madam Cyberhack is running again. Clinton will be the nominee. I don't care if she runs a day before the Democratic convention or tomorrow. Heavy capitalist, thank you. Look, this is Tammany Hall. Tammany Hall all over again. Okay? This is not the first time we've seen a political machine. This is not a rational, logical, it's not a political organization that you could say, well, that's the Democratic Party. It's not politics as usual. Yeah, politics is nasty. Yeah, we get it. Tammany Hall was a political force in New York City from its 1789 inception as a benevolent association to mayoral campaigns in the 1950s. To mayoral campaigns in the 1950s. Frequently, its leadership was identical to the executive committee of the local Democratic Party, and it was a major controlling faction in the party in 1821 to 1872 and 1905 to 1932. Key Tammany bosses through the years were William M. Tweed, Boss Tweed, Charles F. Murray. Okay, so that was that represented corruption for decades. Big Toe! Thank you. StevOp62, HA, old rattlesnake, you were right. I wish I'm more like a garden snake. Or like, what's more dangerous, a copperhead or a rattlesnake? Let's see. What has more venom? Okay. Copperhead or rattlesnake. Okay. I would probably rattlesnake. Oh no, the copperhead accounts for more cases of venomous snake bites than any other American species. However, its venom is the least toxic. Huh. I didn't know that. Wow. Look at that. That's good. Big Toe! Thank you. Thank you, Big Toe, the golden muumuu. Thank you. That's right, Brett. Copperheads aren't venomous. Yeah, so. Top 10 venomous North American snakes. Okay, so hold on. Western coral snake. Yeah, that looks dangerous. It doesn't look mean. It just looks like you don't want to mess with it. Eastern diamondback rattlesnake. That looks mean. Western diamondback rattlesnake. Any diamondback rattlesnake. Coral snake. That doesn't look good. Copperhead snake. Oh, it's okay. Cottonmouth snake. Yellow belly. Okay, so I'll just finish this. All right, timber rattlesnake. Whoa. That camouflage is crazy. Mojave rattlesnake. All right. Anyway, getting back to Atom 31458. Thank you. Hope all is well. Atom 31458. Hope all is well. Thank you. Speaking, let's continue our talk about vipers and reptiles and snakes. The Democratic Party has consistently undermined its own narrative. Because the thing is, they are doing all of this for the golden muumuu. That's it. They are doing all of this. All of this serves the purposes of Madam Cyberhack. That's it. That's it. And the thing is, it's not like, look, the Democratic frontrunner, I've been saying, for 2 years. Before the reality was, well, whatever. You know what, 2016, we'll talk about another time. But right now, the Democratic frontrunner is Hillary Clinton. It is not the guy who defeated Cornflakes and Captain Crunch. It is not the person who... the AFL-CIO is against the Green New Deal. Sorry, you're not going to win the Rust Belt with Warren. At least when Bernie Sanders was actually, at that point, the front runner, because Clinton, like I said, would not win, he wasn't talking about a Green New Deal. Doing away with fossil fuels altogether, which would do away with industry as we know it at this point in America's economy. That's why the largest labor union group is against it. That is a core constituent of the Democratic Party. These are core constituencies of the Democratic Party. Okay, if they're not for something, so if Warren is unelectable because there's a lot of reasons. Primarily, she failed her DNA test, and Biden has already been surpassed essentially by Warren. Now you have a situation where there is no candidate, and who do they have? Put me in, coach. I'm ready to play today. Look at me. I could be in center field. We got somebody batting .275 in AAA. It's the golden muumuu. She's just way. And the interesting thing is that today on The View, she was kind of, coy, like, oh, yeah, so why would I? I've said before, I'm not. She actually didn't say that. She didn't say anything. She was laughing, and they're like, are you going to go, are you going to jump in 6 months from now? She's like, 6 months? And of course, she didn't answer, but she was saying 6 months. Why would anyone? Of course, I'm going to jump in, but why 6 months from now? That's ridiculous. So then that was the out. They have nobody else, and they failed with Russia, but they didn't really. With people who possess critical thinking skills, they utterly failed. For people who just want a reason to vote Democrat, they succeeded. Kurt Leonard, Schiff continually falling on the sword shows he's compromised in some way or a cyborg. Yeah, he did this also with the Clinton email investigation. He said, oh, there's nothing wrong. I mean, you're talking about one of the most loyal Democratic, really like an operative, not just a congressman, an operative. Thank you, Kurt. Exactly. I mean, the thing is, what he's doing is like, oh, I'm showing loyalty to the Democratic Party. So he views it to be almost like a good deed. Atom 31458. How is Warren going to feel about Hillary swooping in? I mean, publicly. Whether it's Warren or anyone on that debate stage, they have no say. There's this notion, ladies and gentlemen, that people want to run, that they think that it's their political party. It is not theirs. They cannot raise money. They do not have any clout. Do you think anyone on that debate stage, including the former vice president, who got 1% in Iowa, including the former vice president in 2008 who got 1% in Iowa? Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, and who had a plagiarism controversy? You think any of these people have actual pull or actual, how should I say it, influence or prestige within the Democratic Party? No. They walk into a room and there's a bunch of Democrats and it's like, oh, okay, that's the Senate. Okay. Hillary walks in, they're like, oh, Hillary. That's what it is. Soft alloy, thank you. Look, this is not a political, there is no Democratic Party. They do not have a political party. They have a giant organization that is an extension of two people, primarily an extension of Bubba Bill. It's my extension. What's up? So, I mean, and with people like Adam Schiff, it's like, okay, if you're a Democratic congressman and you've been there a long time, you're not gonna run for president like President Swalwell. You are, and you love your, high-ranking post, in Congress. You're gonna do whatever it takes because look. Congressman Schiff knows that the media will always side and always defend anything he says, even if it's completely outlandish. They don't care. It's not like they spent over 2 years, close to 2.5 years. Because before the Mueller investigation, it was the hysteria was starting. But they spent 2 years promoting the nonsensical, irrational, absurd notion that Trump worked with Russia to hack the DNC to inform the country that Bernie Sanders was cheated, thus giving Clinton the popular vote, but removing swing states from Democrats because of Facebook ads that nobody saw, causing Debbie Wasserman Schultz eventually to resign. Malou Slater, I was going to call him Emperor Swalwell. President, it shouldn't be president. It shouldn't be president. Lewandowski should have said Emperor. Quinn Smith. Hillary is running, yeah. And Bernie, yeah, and God bless Bernie. I want him to be healthy and safe. I mean, I hate to say it, but that campaign is, I wish him only the best and healthy and safe. Isaac, thank you. Quinn Smith, thank you. Hillary is running, yes. And I have a feeling it's going to be... We're seeing so many bizarre things. I can only get everyone so far. I'm not Nostradamus. I've been wrong, but I have a good pulse of what's going on. You almost always, I have the pulse of what's going on. And I am the only person in media, not in, real life, because media is not real life, but only person in media who has stated consistently Clinton is going to run. Don't believe this theatrical performance. And now, Quinn Smith, thank you so very much. She's running, but I don't know how she's going to enter. It could be like, like in a hot air balloon. I don't know. I don't know. It could be like, some kind of performance where she just, you see like the Golden Moo dive into the crowd and crowd surf. I don't know. It could be like, remember, like, well, which Star Wars was it where, like, Yoda is, like, just battling, and he's, like, flying and spinning in the air? It could be like that. Quinn Smith, thank you. Whatever does happen, however it happens, it's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome. I'm reading the comments. Eric H526 is awesome. You want me to run? But I don't know if the Russians, they didn't want me because I was so tough. I took their Uranium One money. Millions of dollars. Oh, I'm a gutsy, but I don't know if I could do it. I mean, really, do you want me? Yes, please save us. From the Orange Menace. I mean, I was right about everything. I told you all of this would happen. You want me to run? Okay. Well, I don't know. How much do you really want me to run? I'm having a fundraiser in my mansion. Cough it up. Okay, I'm running. I'm back. Oh my goodness. It is really never ending, all of this, because what Clinton has done to the Democratic Party is, like, usually you build your team around an amazing player. So you can build, obviously you build your team around Michael Jordan or Shaquille O'Neal or Kobe or LeBron. You could build a team. You build a team around these people. You build a team around the best. You don't build a team around Bill Laimbeer and say, okay, we're going to go to the championship. You don't build a team around, a player who's like a marginal player. Bill Laimbeer was, good for, he was a good player, but he wasn't one of the greats. I am Siler, thank you. You don't build your team on somebody that, you build your team on a superstar that is one of the, best scorers in the league, all that stuff. And what's taking place is Democrats have rallied around the one person that is not really, has never had a foreign policy achievement, is mired in continual controversy, and has unbridled ambition, the likes of which have not been seen. Unbridled. You can take the ambition and drive and motivation of the most successful people on the planet, put it all in one cauldron, and it wouldn't be 1/1,000,000th of what Clinton. You could put like Arnold Schwarzenegger's ambition. You could put Zuckerberg, all these, tech billionaires, leaders around the world, and you put it in, you try to make some kind of perfume out of it, and then it wouldn't be 1/1,000,000th of the unbridled passion. that Madam, the unbridled ambition, ambition. That's the issue. You have somebody that. Oh, by the way, 2024 is also. I don't know. I don't know if impeachment is going to come soon. I believe they're going to impeach Trump. They'll fabricate something. But I think that they'll probably try to time it just to pave the way for Clinton. So she could be like, you see, he's being impeached. I mean, honestly, can you not vote for me? She's gonna be like, this is my third time, okay? He's being impeached. What more do you want? Yes, I've committed crimes. Fine. Well, what more do you want? Tammy, later on I'll bring out the orange, or I have there was a sale. I'm not joking. There was a basically pretty much almost a giveaway in terms of the sale. So I bought I'm not joking, a lot of NFL beanies. And so I have all different teams, and people last night people were like, you're a Broncos fan? And I didn't want to say no, but not really a Broncos fan, but it was just gets colder in the evening. But ladies and gentlemen, it's really interesting. I think that all of this stems you have to ask yourself. They always say with Trump, anything that benefits him, it's this diabolical plot that he orchestrated. But with Clinton, anything that benefits Clinton, it's, oh my God, you can't prove that money into the foundation actually, originated from a desire to incentivize the Secretary of State, or to get access to the Secretary of State. There's no suspicion, which is hilarious, because what Democrats have done is they've almost not for you, not for me, not for people who aren't completely in fantasy world. But what they've done is they've made it impossible in the mainstream to question Clinton's motives. So much so that they don't even question if, I don't know, she used servers to hide information from the United States government. That's why you would use servers. That's Variant, hello. But now you have this story right here, ladies and gentlemen. It's really funny. It's really funny, and the Democrats and media are they won't they won't see this as big news. They won't see this as oh, okay, this is really unfair. This is extremely, extremely unfair. If the tables were turned and Republicans, ladies and gentlemen, Republicans contacted somebody within the intelligence community to write a letter of complaint, a formal complaint about a phone conversation that President Obama or President Bill Clinton was. I can't believe this person was listening into my phone conversation. How dare you? Don't I have privacy? There's a problem with trust between you and me. This is Bill Clinton who actually met with Putin at his home outside Moscow. I just want to tell you, thank you so much for the caviar and all the fine Russian, what can I say, desserts. Thank you so much. Thank you. I had a great time, Vladdy. Thank you. That's no problem. That's no problem at all. Oh my goodness, I'm putting myself to sleep. Okay, let's look. Let's look at Quinn Smith. I don't think we'll ever get justice. We will, Quinn. We will. We will. Not because justice reigns supreme and not because the good always are victorious, but because sometimes a political party is just too corrupt to sustain its corruption, to sustain its viability. Clinton's going to run again. And, remember I said this. October 2nd, 2019. Everyone, Quinn Smith, thank you again. Remember I said this. They are going to get people to believe that Trump is losing to Clinton. All the polls, once again, will say that Trump is losing to Clinton, and it's going to be, oh my God, Clinton better win, and she will lose again to Trump. And then who knows how they're going to react, but the Democratic Party will essentially cease to exist in its current form, which will be fantastic. And I called this not only in 2017, yes, but this situation I saw a mile away in 2015, and I tried to notify people in my writing. I tried to publicize this. Nobody wanted to hear. Eric H526, thank you. Nobody wanted to hear the truth. Nobody wanted to hear anything that was contrary to their opinions or beliefs. Exactly. And now you have, this is hilarious. Andrew McCabe today is like, you don't need to investigate the origins of the Russia probe because Comey and I wrote books about it. It's like, yeah, that's not exactly, that's not exactly what, that's not what Trump and Durham and William Barr and pretty much everyone who watches this channel and everyone who has critical thinking skills is talking about. They're not going to read books that are written by culprits, the culprits who actually did utilize government agencies against their stated purpose to defraud the United States. That's what happened in Watergate, and that's what happened here. So, she's going to run. Yeah, it's now everyone's talking about it. And the interesting thing is like, well, if everyone's talking about it now, let's just say hypothetically she wasn't considering running from the second in 2016 she lost. Let's say she just wasn't. She was like, I'm done with politics. I'm done, really. Let's just say that was, okay, so you mean to tell me that everyone is talking about Clinton running and that won't affect? Like if you were, let's say you were a presidential candidate and everyone's like, this person's going to enter the race. Trailblazer ATV, thank you. This person's going to enter the race. Wouldn't you be like, oh, wow, okay, even my detractors want me to enter? And they're going to say the same thing. when she runs, everyone's gonna have, like, the Democrats are gonna have this sinking feeling. Oh no, not again! And it's gonna be the initial, like, a correct feeling. Like, yeah, it'll be like the first answer you put on a test, usually the correct one. It'll be like, yeah, we're gonna lose now. Aria Lee, thank you. Thank you. But then what they're going to do is the media is going to go into warp speed. Warp speed, Captain? I have Scotty behind me. He was an amazing character. Right here. Amazing character. One of my favorite on Star Trek. I mean, they're all my favorite. I love all the characters on Star Trek. But, ladies and gentlemen, I will be back in a couple of hours. Thank you so very much. To my super chat, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, God bless. And I will be back, so check this channel a little later on. Thank you so very, very much.